Yo, 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 what's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? It's your boy, the host, man, the one and the only. Your boy A Reese in here chilling in the mix, back with another edition of the Monday Man Cave. I'm glad to be back. I know I told you guys I wasn't gonna be here last week. I had to go out of town, me and my lady. We went out there to Tennessee, man, had a good time. I'm glad I'm here. Of course, you already know I got my man Broken, aka Brian. He is in the building to join me and do this thing here that I do call the Monday Man Cave here on the BGSC network. Yes, I am the owner and the operator, the sole proprietor of this show. I'm not selling any liquor and I'm not looking zesty. Please don't come beat me up. It's all good. You know what it is, man. We're gonna get into it. You are now officially kicking it in the Monday Man Cave. And we about to get this thing started. You feel me? Let's go.
Swagger pimp, yeah. Can't now another nigga like me. Yeah. Okay, it goes 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, rockin'. It's time for hip hop. On they reach watch, no sir, not for show. No bars made up of fairy tales. I'm trying for the tragedy, I know it well. So put your hands up in the air just for the winners. A peace sign, the pimps, the prostitutes, the sinners. We all deserve a second chance, but we products of illusion and victims of our own circumstance. Apply the pressure, I bet you can. Live the life that you love, shout out to Rand. Love the life that you live, shout out again. It ain't a tough pill to swallow once you comprehend.
All right, man. Glad to be here. Glad to be back, man. I appreciate you guys chilling here with me here on the Monday Man Cave, BGSC Network. Y'all already know how we do it. Shout out to Big Game James. Shout out to my man, uh, the Buff Nerd. You know who you are. Shout out to the Philly boys. Y'all know what we do. We on the down. Brian, man, glad to have you back. Glad to be
Yo,
here. You know
oh
what I'm
yeah, good to
saying?
be back.
Me and Brian, we did some shooting with VR. What was that last week? What, last Friday? Had a good
uh,
time, man. Had a good time, man. I actually beat him by 1 point, man. When you want to call it, the kills and stuff. I think it was 158, 157. But I'm telling you, man, there's nobody else I would rather go to war with than this guy and my man Grip. Man, we got some gun. Good gun game, man. But it is what it is, man. Appreciate it. Y'all see the title, man. A lot of stuff going on. We're gonna talk, and we are definitely about to get right into it. So without further ado, let's get into the business, baby. Aries, 3 points. Let's get it. 3 points, agree or disagree. And shout out to my man, Big Game. He said, "What's up?" Please leave your comments and everything like that, man. We will definitely post it and we'll talk. Definitely. Thank you, man, for tuning in with us. So let's get into this, man. My first point today. Let's talk about this. And everybody talked about it. Brian, look, he's part of your favorite team. It's a love and hate relationship that people have with this guy, man. But y'all know what it is, man. LeBron James has scored 40,000 points. The first person, the only person at this point in time to score 40,000 points in the NBA. Now, y'all have heard me say it before. I've had my instances and things like that, but I have decided in my own right, in my own way, I've just decided that I'm no longer going to be a hater of LeBron, no hater of anything like that. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying necessarily that I put him above Jordan or I put him above Kobe. I don't do that. I'm not gonna do that. I would never do that. I'm just saying. I grew up
that's
watching
that's low key
MJ.
still that's low
No,
key
no, no, no,
still
no, no,
hate.
no, no.
That's
No, it's not.
still.
No, it's not. No,
But
it's
you
not.
because
Do
you don't
not put
have to
those
say
words in
that.
my
But
mouth.
you don't have to say that. You
Don't
don't
put
even
those
have to
words in
say
my
that.
mouth. I can say
But
what
you.
I want to say.
Oh my
Okay.
god. Oh my god.
No, that is not hating. I'm saying it like this. LeBron will go down in history as one of the greatest to ever play the game. I understand it. It is what it is. And much love, appreciation to him for what he has done for the game. I thought about this when he scored those 40,000 points. And I thought about how all the different ways that people can go about this. Some people saying, well, it shouldn't really count or it really doesn't matter because he's playing in a reformed league now where it's so much more offense and so much less defense. Compared to what Jordan had to deal with, what Kobe had to deal with. It's a lot of factors that so many people are going to put in there. We still have to look at the grand scheme of it all. He scored 40,000 points in his career. He's been in the league, I believe, what, 20, 21 years now? So to score 40,000 points and to be the only sole person that has done that is an amazing feat in itself. I'm not going to take that away from him. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Same way I've had talks with you, B. I can't take away those championships that he won, even though I've heard people want to put asterisks on the bubble championship. Not gonna do that, man. It is what it is because shit, somebody has to do it. Shout out to Big Game. Big Game says, what's harder to do, 40K points in a career or 100 points in a game? Ooh, I would say maybe 100 points in a game on that one. I would say 100 points in a game would probably be hard because 40 points in a career, 40,000 points in a career. That means you have to play long enough to do that. And anybody that has been able to take care of their body the way that LeBron has, we've seen him do it numerous amounts of times in the off season. He set himself up to be able to achieve these goals. So you have to give kudos to the guy. He has made himself still be a relevant NBA player, a relevant player in the league far longer than many people have. Many people have. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to discredit the 40,000 points. I don't want to discredit anything that he's done. Even though I may have my opinions about Michael, about Kobe, but if you want to put LeBron there at number 3, that's fine. LeBron can be your number 1. It's fine. Whether I look, we have our GOAT talks. We talk about the GOATs in different what's the word? Different eras of the game. Jordan was the GOAT in his era. Kobe was the GOAT in his era. So LeBron will be the GOAT in this era. But still, 40,000 points, man, is a very significant achievement. I congratulate him for it. That's a good job. Damn good job. What you feel, Brian?
For you to be like, I'm no longer, so you said I'm no longer a hater of LeBron. Like, I'm no longer gonna hate on this man, but you immediately had to preference that by saying, well, that doesn't mean I'm putting him over Kobe and over Jordan. I'll never do that. Like, why did you even have to mention Kobe and Jordan? Like, just because you're not hating on the man, don't make it make sense that you think he's the GOAT. Like, that's crazy. Like,
how was that a hating statement? That's not a hating statement.
Because I didn't say that. What I said, I did. I said it's like low key, like still hating. Yes, because you didn't have to preference that statement. Like, I'm not hating on LeBron, but that doesn't mean I'm putting him over Jordan. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, people be like, just because you don't hate on him, that means you think he's the GOAT. No, like, two things can be true at the same time. I cannot hate on him and still not think he's the GOAT. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I'm saying is that you didn't really have to preference that statement. Like, well, I'm not gonna hate on the man no more, but he still ain't the GOAT, but I'm not gonna hate on him. Well, why did you have to say he still ain't the GOAT? Like, you still low-key hate on him.
I made the preference because I know that there are some people out there that would look at him scoring 40,000 points and automatically be like, well, Reed, he's the GOAT. He scored 40,000 points. He is the GOAT.
Can he be their GOAT?
He can be their GOAT. Yes, he can. We all have GOATs. We all have our greatest of all time.
So if somebody be like, well, yeah, he's the GOAT, like, and he's my GOAT, would you be mad at somebody saying he's my GOAT?
Hell no. No, I'm not.
All right.
That's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not hating on that because my
But
goal
you
is going
just
to be
gotta
different
make.
from the next man.
But you just got. You still gotta make it known that he's not your goat, though. Even though you don't hate on him, like you have to make sure people know that they understand that
Well,
he's not your goat.
considering considering this is my podcast and my show, considering that there may be comments that people want to put and be like, "Well, Reed, is he your goat?" But I'm letting it be known, no, he is not my goat, but he's up there as one of the greatest of all time for the era. And if he's your goat, he is your goat. That is completely fine. I'm
That's
sorry.
funny.
I
That's
grew
funny
up
how.
and I saw Jordan. What I saw Jordan do is what I saw Jordan do. I there's no denying that for me. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's different.
That
Goat depends on the area you grew up in watching. Thank you, Big Game. That's what I'm saying.
it's funny
Because
how
everybody's goat gonna be different.
it's funny how like whenever we have a conversation about LeBron or anybody has a conversation about LeBron like that, I've seen other people have conversations about LeBron. And it's always like, well, like, no, man, I don't hate on LeBron. I don't hate what he did. Wait, are you saying he the GOAT? Like, no, nigga, I just mean I'm not hating on him. I don't hate him. I think he's a great player. Like, do you think he better than like? I guess it's always gonna be that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that conversation is like it's always gonna surround him. He's always gonna be compared to other players, and I mean that's good for him though. Like
As he should.
it's
As
it's
he
it's
should.
it's 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 honorable. That's an honorable thing, man. To always be in the same breath as Jordan, Kobe, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
And he should. And he should.
Wilt Chamberlain. You know what I'm saying? To even compare, to even ask the question, is it harder to do 40,000 or 100 in one game? Like that's I would love to be in that conversation. It's only two people in that conversation now that you can even have that conversation about, and that's him and Wilt. So those are the only two people you can even put in a conversation. Ask that question: is it
Mm-hmm.
harder to do 40,000 or 100? So yeah, I mean he's done something no one has ever done, and yeah, they didn't stop the game for it. I'm glad they didn't stop the game for it, because even though it's a huge milestone, uh, I don't think he wanted that, like all the glazing, like, stop the game, oh, 40,000, let's put a banner up, or, stop the game, have him give a little what is he gonna do? Give a little speech or something for his 40,000 points? So no, they didn't stop the game. They kept it going. The crowd, of course, took their pictures. You saw a whole bunch of selfies going off and everything like that. And yeah, he just when he
Did he
came out, he
did they
came out of
stop?
the.
No, my bad. Yo, keep going, man. Keep going.
They did not stop the game, but he came out of the game a little bit later after scoring the 40,000. He made like one or two more buckets after that. And when he came out the game, he acknowledged the crowd. He put his hand up and everything like that. Before he sat on the bench or whatever. I think it might have been either a TV timeout or just a time, change of possession timeout, something like that. So yeah, they didn't really stop the game for it.
When he became the all-time leader in scoring, did they stop then? I'm trying to remember. Did
Yes,
they stop?
yes, yeah. I believe they stopped the game for that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Big Game says a lot of people put Kobe over LeBron. He's a great top five for sure. Of course. Of course. I completely agree with you, Big Game. Completely agree with you. You know what I'm saying? But it definitely depends on the area that you grew up in. Definitely does. Um, my
Real
question
quick.
is, no, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, before you go to your second point, just go ahead and wrap up what you're gonna say about LeBron. I was gonna add something after that.
Um, well, my next question was gonna be when this is all said and done because I don't really know how many more years that LeBron is gonna end up playing. I don't know. I think we can all sense that it's coming. I mean, damn, he's what 39. He's my age now. He's 39. You know, to see him still doing what he's doing at 40, maybe 41, he's trying to take maybe a Tom Brady approach. When it's all said and done, I do believe a statue will be built of this guy. Just where exactly will this statue be built? Because he's won championships in three places. Okay. In Cleveland, he's won it in Miami, and he's won in LA. But when it's all said and done, I could see all three of those. I could see all three of those teams maybe
No,
retiring
I
his
can't. I
jersey.
can't. I can't. Oh, okay. Okay. Go ahead.
I could
Yeah.
see all three of them maybe retiring his jersey. I don't necessarily feel like the Lakers would retire his jersey because it's just I don't necessarily know. I could see Cleveland do it. I could see Miami do it. I don't know about
I
the
think. I think the Lakers will retire his jersey. Yes.
Okay, okay. But where would his statue be?
Cleveland. That's the only place it can be. It's Cleveland.
Why you say that?
He literally built downtown Cleveland. Like
Hmm.
downtown Cleveland was built around the Cleveland Cavaliers Stadium. Like Cleveland, downtown Cleveland was very poor economically. They were struggling economically before LeBron James came to the franchise.
Hmm.
And the franchise, the Cavs revitalized downtown Cleveland. And he's from Akron. He's from Akron, which is close. They don't necessarily totally claim Cleveland, but I mean, it's right there, you know. So he's from
Yeah,
Ohio. He's from Ohio. He's from Akron. The stadium, the his statue has to be in. It has to be in Cleveland. It. Got to be in Cleveland. That's a hometown boy. He built downtown Cleveland. Downtown Cleveland was built around that Cavs franchise when he was there the first, and that's the first time he was there. Not
right,
even,
right,
not
right,
even, not even the second time. That was the first time he was there. His first years there before he even went to Miami. That's the city was revitalized by his presence there because of the fanfare and the franchise pulling in tickets and all of the tax revenue
yeah,
and just the money that poured into the city of Cleveland's economy. It the stadium has to. He means so much to that area. The statue would have to be there.
that makes sense. That makes sense. Big Game says no statue in L.A. Hell no. I hear you, Big Game. But then he comes back and he says, "Why would they retire his jersey in L.A.?"
Because he won a championship in LA. He broke Kareem's record in LA. He scored the 40,000 in LA, and he'll probably retire in LA. So,
Oh, I mean, there's
and
a good, very good answers.
The Lakers, the Lakers, the Lakers respect all-time players.
Right.
So, so you know what I'm saying? Like with LeBron being all-time player, like Jeannie Buss has like she has welcomed him as a real Laker. Like he's a Laker for all intents and purposes with Los Angeles with the franchise in terms of the franchise. He's a Laker. So I mean, even though the fans may not totally see that, and I mean, a lot of non-Laker fans don't want to see it, and I think a lot of older Lakers fans may not want to see it, but a lot of the younger Laker fans, they grew up on LeBron now. Like
Which is true. Which is true.
you got
Which is true.
5-year-olds, you got 5-year-olds and 7-year-olds and 8-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Like they grew up on LeBron already. So if LeBron plays another 2 or 3 years with the Lakers, who knows how many more? I know for sure he's gonna play one more. I know that for sure. I would actually be surprised. Me personally, I would be surprised if he retires even after next season. So
Mhm.
I low key kind of think he got at least two more in him.
Okay, I can dig that. Big Game showing you love. He said, "Okay, V." He was listening to you. Okay, okay, makes
I
sense.
mean,
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Okay. I get it to you. All right.
I mean,
Let's get on.
it would also come off. It would come off as hating for the Lakers not to retire his jersey. It'll come off as hating. Like it really would. Like people be like, oh, like because of Kobe and because you know what I'm saying. Like they would blame the Kobe. They would literally blame Kobe fans if the Lakers didn't retire LeBron's jersey. Like y'all hating. It's the Kobe fans that's hating. Don't want his jersey retired in LA. Like that's who they would blame. They will blame Kobe fans, and Kobe don't deserve that. He's passed away, and
Facts.
he don't deserve his fans getting blamed or to
Facts.
try to say his fans are hating on LeBron. Like Kobe wouldn't hate. Kobe wouldn't hate like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think Kobe would hate.
Big Game
Kobe
said it's not
not
hating.
not public. It will come off as I don't know why y'all don't think it's hating. That's how it's gonna be perceived. That's
I mean,
definitely how that's definitely how it would be perceived.
I mean, you would know, man. You a Laker guy, man. You a Laker fan through and through, man. So I respect it, though. I respect it. Let's go to this next point, man. So the word just came out that Mr. Russell Wilson is being cut from the Denver Broncos, which means he will not be their next quarterback. Hell, he won't be their quarterback this next season. Now, we all know Russell Wilson. He is a Super Bowl champion with the Seattle Seahawks. Could have been a two-time, but we already know what happened in that game. He comes down to Denver Broncos, and he's trying to get them to ride along with him. This, what, that, and the third. But we all have seen the debacle of what it was with him being the quarterback and Mr. Sean Payton being his coach. Wasn't a very good match. Was not a very good match indeed. And we see the fruits of the labor. When I look at stuff like this, personally, B, somebody has to end up being the scapegoat, and it's not going to be the coach. So if the coach can find a blame on somebody, he's going to blame it on somebody. Notably, I guess he felt like he could blame this on Russ. Um, my question, though, and I'll say this, man, I'm kind of glad to see him getting out of Denver. I think he went to Denver with the right intentions, man, to try to help that team get back on their feet and do what they needed to do to get to a championship. I do still feel that Russell Wilson does have something in the tank. I think he can still provide for somebody out there in the league. It's kind of crazy because shit, it wasn't too long ago where we were looking at Russell Wilson as one of the top quarterbacks in the league. And now, with the stint that he's had with Denver, it makes you just kind of scratch your head like, what the hell? Where did all of this go? Um, my question: Russ is cut from the Broncos. Where does Russ go, or who picks him up? Who's gonna be that need of a quarterback to pick up Russ? Because now what the Broncos are gonna do, I don't know. I'm not necessarily looking at the roster. I don't know if they still got Drew Lock back there. I don't know what it is, but they gotta find, of course. It's obvious that they gotta find a quarterback. They're gonna draft a quarterback. They're gonna be able to get somebody that can come in. You know, um, are they gonna find them a veteran? You know, somebody to bridge the gap. Who knows at this point? But I think Russ could bounce back somewhere. But my question is, where and who do you think that would actually give Russ a chance to bounce back and do what he does best?
I can see him going to Minnesota. I can see him going to Tennessee.
Hmm.
Um, I think those two spots right there. Um, I don't know about New England. I don't know. Uh, Belichick will not be there. So maybe New England might be willing to do that. since Belichick is not there. Uh,
I've heard that they wanted
he
to change that culture down there in New England as well. They didn't want it to be as hard as it's been with Belichick. So you might
he
be
wanna
right.
he wanna go somewhere where he possibly have a chance to win.
Raiders and Broncos leading to the American Life. Let's see.
Pittsburgh may take a look at him.
That's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. And I'm looking at it with, Cincinnati being in that division. That could be tough. That could be
Pittsburgh
tough.
Pittsburgh may take a look at him. Who knows? And he said he's willing to take the veteran minimum, I believe is what he said. So
Yes.
like he's not gonna be breaking anybody's bank to bring him in either. So he can go to a team like Minnesota where they already have a good squad. Not saying Minnesota wants him, but that'll be a perfect spot for him personally. That'll be a great spot for him because they already got weapons and they already have a team that's built, and he won't be a
Hmm.
huge hit to their salary cap. So
Hmm.
they can still fill out defensive player. They can still fill out defensive players. They might be able to sign an O lineman, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's to almost any team that's close. So
Yeah.
any team that's kind of close, that's a playoff kind of team. I'm looking at places that's favorable to him. I don't know if any of these places want him, but since I want to see him win, he's a cool guy, he's a good guy, and I want to see him win. Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Tennessee. Um, I think Tampa is gonna resign. Is gonna resign Mayfield. Mayfield wants his money though. So May
Okay. Oh, I understand Mayfield wants his money. Did he do enough to demand the money?
Yeah, I think he did. He played very well. He played and he younger than Russ. He not as paid as Russ. Russ is willing to take less money because he got so fucking paid on that contract, dog.
Yes, he
Like
does.
that
Big Game.
contract was fucking huge.
Yeah, Big Game says yeah, Denver owes him 38 mil. He's good.
Yeah,
He's good. So to take a vet
yeah,
minimum ain't nothing
ain't
at this
nothing for
point.
him. And
Ain't
he's
nothing.
looking at the type of guy he is. He don't spend money like that.
True. True.
So you know what I'm saying? He's probably flipped his money into more money. He's that intelligent type of guy.
Hmm.
So he's
Hmm.
probably already flipped his money into more money. You know what I'm saying? So he don't look like he wastes money. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure he spends on Sierra or whatever, but she had her own money too a little bit already. So it's not like he gotta, do all of that. But yeah, Baker deserves that. I think he did enough to get a deal. And he should not give him a hometown discount because he's younger and he hasn't had a nice contract yet. I mean, he still gotta secure a little bit of his future, you know what I'm saying? For
Yeah. Yeah.
if whether he's married, have children, I don't know, whatever, but any future marriage or any future children that he may have, if he doesn't have any already, but Baker needs his money. Russ is good. Russ can do that. Baker
Baker did jump start his career back again in Tampa. Uh, and
No,
I will agree with
he
that.
played very
He
good.
did. He did. He played
I
very
watched
well. Very
Baker.
surprising. Very surprisingly to a lot of people.
He played very good this year.
And he did. He did. And
He
now
was solid.
Mike Evans is re-signed, so they have that connection back again. Um, so that does make sense. Thinking about these teams that you're saying, Atlanta, maybe the Falcons, the Raiders. I'm
He
hearing.
don't
I'm
no, he don't need to go he don't need to go to the Raiders. That's the Raiders is dysfunctional. Atlanta
well, Tennessee
at
doesn't have no weapons like that. Because I mean, Henry ain't gonna be.
Russ do not need to take Ciara to Atlanta. Ciara does not need to be in
Oh
Atlanta.
hell no,
I'm
hell no.
sorry.
You right.
Russ
You right.
Russ do not need to be in
Take her
Atlanta.
ass up to Minnesota.
Take her ass up to Minnesota. Do not take her to Atlanta, dog. Don't do it. Don't do it.
uh,
That's not a good idea. That's not a good idea. So no,
Whew.
no,
Hmm.
no Atlanta, no Las Vegas, no Raiders, no, mm-mm,
Okay.
mm-mm.
Okay.
No.
Okay. No, I mean it really brings up a interesting conversation. I mean, because you're looking at some of these quarterbacks that are going to be coming out of the draft, and a lot of these teams that are going to be looking to, you know, get that next guy to, you know, possibly lead the squad or, get them a
Somebody
decent
said
quarterback to.
somebody said wouldn't it be funny if he went back to Seattle?
It would
Is
be
that
funny, but that would be if the new coach had wanted him to
is
come back.
is that outside the realm of possible? I mean, Pete
It's
Carroll ain't
never
there.
it's never outside the realm. It's never
Pete
outside the realm. But then what are
Pete
you gonna do with
Pete
Gino?
Pete
Because I
Carroll
think
ain't
they
there.
just re-signed Gino. They just re-signed Gino to another deal. I think I want to say like last year.
It's probably
Uh,
not a big. It's
if I'm
probably
not,
not a. It's probably not a huge deal. Gino, not a franchise. I mean, we know he's not a franchise quarterback.
well, we know that, but he's played at least decent enough to earn that spot at this
I
point in time.
I would probably take Russ over him.
Mm, mm.
Russ was seven in passing last year. He was like seventh in QBR or something like that. He threw 30 touchdowns and like 10 picks or something like that. Like he actually had a good statistical season, even though they had a lose. And like you said, and that's why Peyton low key is using him as a scapegoat. And
Mm-hmm.
they would have played him them last few games. The only reason why they sat him is because of his contract, because he had an injury guarantee in his deal. So if he got hurt, they would still have to pay him out the rest of his fucking contract, even if he had hurt. So they signed him to a huge ass deal, and they gave him an injury guarantee on top of that. So they
Yeah,
wanted him to waive that, and he refused to waive it. And that's
which
good
I
on
don't
him.
blame him. I
Which
don't
I
blame
don't.
him at all.
Yeah,
I
don't
don't blame
waive.
him at all.
Yeah, don't waive that shit.
It makes me think about teams like Indianapolis, Chicago, um,
Wait
for us as a
no,
QB.
no. Indianapolis has Richardson. He got hurt, but he's coming back. And Chicago is gonna have one of the top QBs coming out of the draft. They will trade Fields. Fields will be gone, and they're
They're
gonna
saying
get
Fields is going to Atlanta.
and
That's
they're
what I'm
gonna
hearing.
have and they're gonna have probably Caleb, probably K, but they'll have their choice, right? Because they have the number one pick. So I believe Chicago has the number one pick, right? So
Mhm.
they'll have their choice of who they want, whether it be Caleb Williams, I guess, a USC guy, or you know any of those the Washington guy if they want him, or
Oh,
you know
you talking about
they'll
Phoenix?
Phoenix, and they'll have their choice. So they'll have their choice of who they want. So no, Chicago, no. Uh, Indianapolis, no. They're out of it. They have a young QB. Even though it got hurt, he was playing well before he went down. He showed promise at least. He showed more promise than Carolina's dude.
Yeah,
But yeah.
it's gonna be interesting to see where he ends up. It will be. It will be. And I'm not even that you say it, I'm not going to put the Seattle out the mix. Him coming back.
I mean,
You know.
I'm not gonna put the Raiders out the mix too because he's gonna have to take what he gets, right?
Well,
So
yeah.
if he
Yeah.
wants to start,
Yeah.
I don't want to see him on the Raiders. But if he wants to start and the Raiders the only team that's promised him a starting position, then I mean that's what he's gonna have to do.
So is everybody saying clear cut that Kirk Cousins is done
In Minnesota,
in Minnesota? He got hurt last year. I guess they're not
uh,
gonna give him another chance. But is he done in
oh,
Minnesota?
uh, I think if Minnesota wants to get out from under him, this is the perfect time to do it.
Makes sense. That makes sense. That makes a lot
If
of sense.
Minnesota wants to, if Minnesota brass, if they want to move on from Kirk Cousins, then do it now.
That makes perfect sense. Sign this guy at the vet minimum. You got a guy who's healthy, um, who
And
can
you can
still throw
sign
the
and you can
rock
sign Russell. Yeah, and you can sign Russell Wilson to 1 year. You can sign
on
him to
1 year
one
vet
year,
minimum there.
1 year, 1 year,
Yeah.
2 year deal at the most. 1 year with one. Uh, they don't really do what option contracts in football. I'm not sure. You know, like 1 year with a 1 year option and all that kind of bullshit, like opt out clauses and all that shit. I never really see that in football, but yeah, you sign them to 1 year. You know what I'm
Shout out
saying?
to Big
And
Game. B heads at the money. Yeah, Minnesota can save the bread. That's true, man. That's gonna be interesting. That'll be very interesting to see him handle over there. That'd be very interesting. That would be. That would be. Okay. No doubt. No doubt. I like this. 3 points. Doing here. Y'all already know BGSC Network, man. Money Man Cave. Let's talk point number 3. We saw the videos. We heard everything that was going on about this. And I kind of want to dive into this my own self. Our own Cam Newton. Cam Newton got jumped. Now I don't want to laugh necessarily about this because I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull up a few videos. This first video here is Cam actually responding to what had went down. Let's just hear what it is. This is a very short video. Very short video.
Too many times we've seen people, hecklers, fans, whatever, kind of give off an energy not knowing that they may get what they're asking for. As a fan, you're free to say whatever you want to say. My issue comes when you play the victim. You started this, and the energy that you are giving, I just matched it. So
Hmm. Hmm. When people start to play the victim, they started it. He just matched the energy. Let's take a look at what everybody is talking about, which is this incident that happened with Mr. Cam Newton. Now, I'm not going to play the audio on this. I don't want to get caught. But as you can see, there's Cam Newton right there. And from what they were saying, this was a 7-on-7 tournament. These guys came up to him, just talking mess, wanted to get in a fight. At so many point in time, and I've heard this from, I'm listening to some of these analysts, Ryan Clark, a lot of these guys, and they say things as if, you got guys out there that didn't make it, that didn't get to the highest level of success like Cam Newton has. He's played in the NFL, been to a Super Bowl, MVP. He's done things that the normal man hasn't. And you got guys out there who necessarily feel that, oh, this is their one time to shine. This is their one time that they can sit there and prove that they could have been in the league, that they could have did whatever, whatnot. And they see a guy who's an ex-player and they probably think that, I can take him, I can do this, I can do that. And then you have situations that happen like this where these guys get above their heads, start talking mess, and eventually these are the kind of things that happen, which is kind of unfortunate. Um, my biggest takeaway from that is, though, which is quite hilarious to me, is that, and a lot of people had actually mentioned it too. Cam's hat did not fall off. Cam was Cam was literally throwing guys like straight off of him, like it was nothing. It's like he got jumped. They say it was about 7 people. I don't know, but it was at least I counted about a good 2 to 3 guys. But it's like he stood on his feet, full ground, didn't get taken down, nothing like that. People tend to forget just how strong Cam Newton is. Okay. I mean, this guy was a quarterback in the league, but damn it, he ran like a running back. Fucking huge. And to see these guys jump him, which is very, it sucks to see something like that. I think he was coming for the 7-on-7 tournament, trying to get back to the community, and these kind of things happen. Quite unfortunate, man. But I know everybody's been talking about it, and I just wanted to get my 2 cents into it. Yo, y'all gotta stop, bro. Y'all gotta stop. I don't want to say it's a black, it's a white thing, because you look at some of these white establishments or these white these white what you call it, events that may get sponsored. You know, something like Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, or something like that. Somebody may do, and you would never see these kind of things happen. It just always tends to be at the black events where these kind of things can jump off, which is quite unfortunate. Um, that being said, man, yeah, you got to learn to pick your battles, people. You got to learn to pick your battles. And then why are you even trying to fight this man? For what reason? For what reason? I really want to know what was said to cause all of that to happen. I really do. I would like to know. And you know, with what we had just seen the video before, Cam said, "Hey, look, y'all started it. Y'all brought that energy, and I just matched the energy." And I know he's gone on his podcast, you know, apologizing and saying that you know he didn't want to be in that light, trying to make right of the situation. Um, hey man, sometimes sometimes you just deserve to get your ass whooped. I don't know. Maybe so. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Brian, what you think, man?
Bruh, this shit is ridiculous, man. I think some black people, some niggas, they have an obsession with trying to punk people. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? And they have an obsession with like trying like and they do disrespect people and they say crazy shit. And when you talk back, they get super offended and they want to fight and they want to shoot.
mm,
So they think they can say whatever they want to say to you and you have to just take it. And then if you take it, they clown you even more. They call you even more bees and hoes and all this kind of stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? And say you a punk and we punked you and you know and all this kind of stuff. And you didn't have no fight in you. You didn't fight back, you know? And then when you say something back, you know, and then you match the same energy that they were giving to you. But the whole point is why do you feel the need like you question why do you feel need to fight this man but why do you feel the need to disrespect this man at his event
right, right.
that he's sponsoring, you know what I'm
What were you
saying?
trying
Like
to prove? What was yeah? What yeah?
I think they just some like they just like to try to punk people, man. They think they want to say whatever they want to say to you and they just it's
This is that hating. To me, this is that hating. This is that
this is
crab in the bucket
yeah,
mentality.
that's real hating. Yes, that's
You
hating.
know, that's that crab in the bucket mentality. And of course, we know that Cam Newton's not in the league, but it's not like the man couldn't play tomorrow if he got picked up. Um, People look at that. People see these athletes that come here that you know do these events. They look at them, and it's like a sense of jealousy that comes out because they made it and I didn't get to make it. You know, they got to the NFL. I didn't get to the NFL. They got to the NBA
It,
and I didn't get to the NBA. You
it's
know,
it's jealousy and you know Cam wears those hats, those fancy hats. I love his hats, you know, with the feathers in them,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's like a feather in their cap, in the haters cap. Like you know, it's the metaphorical feather in their cap to be able to say, "Hey, I beat up Cam Newton, or I took him down, or I punked him, or I talked mess and he didn't do nothing." And he's a punk and Cam ain't about nothing and
yeah.
all like you know what I'm saying? Like for some reason, I don't know, man. That's why a lot of successful people, a lot of people who so called quote unquote made it out, that's why they don't come back.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
And then we get mad when they don't come back and we say, hey, you You then moved out to the bricks. You moved out to the white folks. You moved out to the valley.
Yeah, yeah.
You moved out to Calabasas, and you don't want to be around your own people. You moved out there with them folks. You
You
know what I'm
moved out the
saying?
hood and
And
changed.
no,
Yeah.
it's not it's not usually the people like Cam Newton who've changed. It's the reaction to Cam Newton. It's the reaction from the people who didn't make it out. It's their change in attitude towards the people who made it that's changed.
Yeah.
Because they your friends, they cool with you and all that. When you right there with them in the trenches, everybody good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you
We
but
all
if
gonna be
you
broke together.
but if you climb out the trenches and you come back, they looking at you like you don't belong there anymore. And it's
Or they
like,
asking for a handout so
or
they can
they,
be on the
yeah,
same level.
or, so it's
Sucks, man. It
it
definitely
sucks.
sucks, man.
It definitely
It
sucks,
sucks. It
man.
sucks to see something like that.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, like to not. And then that's why a lot of these athletes don't hold. They don't come back, and then and I'm not saying not all, but some. That's why some athletes won't hold their own personal events. They won't hold them real close to the hood either, right? Like you got to go out to get to some of the events. I remember Kobe's academy was like deep down in Orange County somewhere. You know what I'm saying? His Mamba Academy. Uh,
Interesting.
and I mean even Kanye's little school, right, was like all the way out near Calabasas somewhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like and we said, well, why don't they build schools in the hood? Is because the people in the
For this
hood,
reason.
they a lot of times the people in the hoods don't respect what they have already. So why would they expect something new? Like like unfortunately, and you got a lot of great people in the hood, but it's the fucked up people. It's the ignorant people that fuck it up for everybody, bro. It's the
Yeah.
ignorant people. It's the ignorant people who don't clean up after themselves and leave the hood trashed and stuff like that, and don't want to respect what you do for them. I mean,
Thanks.
the only reason why Nipsey Hussle's his computer labs and stuff like that, like we're able to survive, like, you know what I'm saying, without like necessarily being disrespected and shit going on, is because of the like the strength behind it. You know what I'm saying? Because he was behind it, like, and he had 60s behind it, like, you know what I'm saying. But if that was if they didn't respect that kind of threat of retaliation, like, who knows, like,
Hmm.
if his shit would have been able to survive,
Hmm.
like,
True
in
that.
that situation. Because a lot of, for whatever reason, man, the hood, like, you got a small group of people in the hood that fucks it up for everyone else. You got a lot of good people, a lot of decent people in these neighborhoods. They just poor. That's it. Like, that's the only difference between them and everybody else. We just of a lower economic scale.
Thanks.
But
Thanks.
then, when they come up and they get out, yeah, that a lot of people, they do want to get out the hood because it's fucked up. Like, it's violent. Like, and when you say that, you we hate acknowledging truths in a lot of senses, right? And even
Hmm.
right now, the way we talking, we kind of tiptoeing around saying, a lot of times you tiptoe around saying how you truly feel about shit because people get offended over the way you say something, over how you say something. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, facts is facts, man.
Yes, it
And
is.
we
Yes, it
gotta
is.
we gotta quit this shit, man. I don't know when niggas is gonna get tired of going through this shit, like the shit that happened at Six Flags.
Oh yeah,
You
I
know
heard
what I'm
about that
saying?
ATL. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
when are we gonna get when are we and the fucking parade, the Kansas City Chiefs Super
Oh
Bowl
yeah,
parade, what
yeah,
went down there? I don't know when we gonna get tired of shit like this. It's something gotta give.
yeah. He's got to give at some point. He's got to give at some point, definitely. It's unfortunate, but at some point in time, y'all, we got to wise up, and hopefully that we can do that very, very soon. We can all come to one accord and agree, so we ain't gotta have to deal with this kind of stuff anymore. Shout out to you,
Speaking,
B. That's some good talk, man. That's some good talk. Even my boy Big Game said church preach. No doubt. No doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my 3 points. Agree or disagree. Let us go.
wait, I got 1 point. I
Oh,
got
go ahead. Go ahead.
1 point, 1 point to add to number one. Your first point, LeBron hitting 40,000. We also had Caitlin Clark pass Pistol Pete Maravich
Oh
this
yeah.
weekend. This
Yeah.
weekend for all time points scored in D1 basketball, women's
Yes.
and men's.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, she
Don't want to
scored.
discredit her for that too, neither.
She's the first player. She's the first D1 player. I don't know if they said all time or if it's in like a long time, but she scored 20 plus in 40 straight games. So she scored 35 in that game where she passed Pistol Pete. And I mean, her shot is just wet, dog. Like she just, just like,
I can
and
shoot,
she's
man.
shooting, hey, and she's shooting from deep. Remember when
Yeah.
we talked about that 3 point contest with Steph and old girl,
Yeah.
and I said, hey, women, they just need to start shooting from deeper. Just start shooting. I don't care where the 3 point line is. I don't care where it is. Just shoot deep. Shoot 5 feet from behind that bitch. And that's what Kayla Clark was shooting from deep. Like, dog, she got range. Like, if she need to just shoot from deep, man. Just shoot from deep. That's how she's gonna change the game. That's how they're gonna change the game. That's how it's gonna evolve. And yeah, man. Yeah, but I don't know if they ready for her when she comes to the WNBA, dog. I think she's gonna really take over the WNBA by storm. I don't know who she's gonna get drafted by or if she's gonna have a good team or not when she gets to the league. But yeah, I think I
She's gonna
think
do some damage.
she's gonna do some damage in the
She's gonna do
league.
some damage. Definite damage. Definite, definitely. Man, so yeah, shout out to Caitlin Clark, shout out to Ron, everybody like that. Y'all know what it is, man. 3 points, man. Agree or disagree. No doubt, man. Let's go to my next favorite thing, winners and losers. Let's go. All right, so in this segment here on winners and losers, man, I tend to bring out who I feel has won, who I feel has lost within this week. And I usually have just a couple of winners, couple of losers. But it's 1-1 today, 1-1. So I'm gonna get to it. My first winner. I don't know if you guys are big wrestling fans. I've been a wrestling fan all my life. I'm not particularly keen on the new stuff. I grew up with Jake the Snake Roberts, the Hulk Hogan's, all of those guys. Um, but one of these guys here is recently retired. Had his last match last night, and that would be Mr. Sting. Sting has officially retired. He is out of the game, and he won his last match as a tag team champion of AEW. He had Darby Allin as his tag team partner, and they won as a tag team. And apparently, him being over there at AEW, he had an undefeated record. I believe it was like 28-0. 28-0, probably like 29-0 now that he has done what he has done. But in dedication of what Sting has done, I want to go ahead and show you guys a quick clip of his last match that he had last night. So let's watch Sting. If I can get it up. Oh, I know what I gotta do. There. That might be better. Here we go. Let's watch Sting, man.
That can really be a great look at Darby's back. Oh my God, he's all taped up. He's all bandaged. He's still bleeding. Glass in his body. Darby willing to sacrifice. And the he'll win. Give me a scorpion deathlock. Listen to this crowd. Listen to this sold-out crowd here in Greensboro. The end has got to be near. It's got to be near.
Quite dope. Quite dope to see Sting wrestle his last match and Sting wins as a winner. Tag team champion with Darby Allin. And of course it was in AEW. But I remember watching Sting in WCW, WWF. I remember him coming out in the blonde, and actually, I didn't pull up the footage, but he actually came out this last match. He had his two sons. His two sons came out with him. His first son came out, and he was dressed in the blonde hair Sting, with the buzz cut. You know, his first son came out like that. The second son came out as the NWO Wolfpack Sting with the red crow, red and black with the face and whatnot. And then Sting came out with the actual black and white crow look that we know him to have done. And actually, it's actually a story that is out there that what's his name? Scott Hall, man, he rest in peace, my man. Razor Ramon had seen Sting putting on the face, putting on his, face paint in the back, and he had actually asked him. He was like, "Man, have you ever seen the Crow? Sometimes, talking less will do more." So he asked me, "Have you ever seen the Crow?" And Sting watched the movie Crow, and he was in awe. And that's where you got the black and white Sting from, where he came, where he didn't even talk that much, but he became like that anti-hero that everybody liked. So it's good to see this Sting, who had a phenomenal career, 40 years, about 40 years that he started in like 1985. 40 years, man. The man is like 64 years old now, and now he is without a doubt going out as a legend, as a legend. So hey, man, you gotta give props. Gotta give props. Gotta give props to Sting, man. Excuse me. Shit, he's you can't think of wrestling and can't name Sting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't
he's
name
yeah.
professional wrestling without Sting. So, to see that he made it this far, 64 years old, man, he's still doing his thing, man. Shout out to you, Sting. Congratulations, man. Good job. Good job. Good job. Yeah. Dope stuff.
He's he's one of the goats.
Oh yeah.
He's one of the goats. He's one of the biggest names in the history of the sport. He'll I don't the funny thing is, right, to me, uh it's kind of weird that the WWE Hall of Fame has become like the greatest wrestling Hall of Fame, right? Like, so
Mm.
I don't necessarily see him as a WWE guy, but he has to go into the WWE Hall of Fame. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And they will put him in there. They will put him in there, but like I've
He-
always seen Sting as a WCW guy,
I
like
think
a
we all did.
WC
I think we all did. Yeah.
WCW guy, and
Yeah.
I would even see him more as an AEW guy over a WWE guy. Like he just wasn't. And I mean, he wrestled in WWE a little bit, but he was a WCW guy,
Yeah, he
man. He
was.
that's
Yeah, he
that's what
was.
he was. Like when uh was it Nitro? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, WCW Nitro, yes.
Those years where WWF, before it even came WWE, when it was still WWF and WCW were competing head to fucking head,
Yeah.
and you had Eric Bischoff, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, and
Yeah.
and McMahon battling each other for
Yeah.
wrestling supremacy. You know what I'm
Yeah. Good
saying?
days. Good days. Good days.
Sting was like one of those guys where if you were a WCW guy, and I knew big WCW fans back then, and it was almost like an Xbox versus PlayStation type thing.
Real talk.
Like
Real talk.
they were hurt when wrestlers switch shows. Like
Yeah.
we used to get hurt back then, dog. When a WCW guy came over to WWF or a WWF guy left and went over to WCW, it was almost like on some traitor stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And when New World Order started, you know what I'm saying? And uh Hulk Hogan and everything, a lot, those guys, they kind of got like cast off from WWF, right? And then
Yeah.
they went and built WCW up to
Surely
be
did.
so strong, to be so
NWO, all of that,
such a
man.
strong competition. And it was just like you had a lot of guys that wanted to see WCW take over the mantle as the premier as the premier show, as the premier production
See,
of
WCW
wrestling.
had Goldberg, though.
Goldberg, yeah, nah, they had
You
and
know,
went and
that
and
undefeated streak was fucking incredible, dude. It
I
was
mean
incredible.
you had to be there to understand it. It's kind of like, well, why does it matter if the WCW guys come over to WWE? Because when they all came over to the WWE, it didn't really seem like a big deal. No, man, it was. If you were
It
there from the
was.
beginning, it was a big deal. It
It
was a
was.
big deal. You didn't want to see your guys change shows like that. Like it was a competition. It was like if you was WCW, you was like low key fuck WWF. And if you was WWF, you was like low key fuck WCW. Like it, and of course you got people that love both. And I think it was a lot of it is friendly rivalry type stuff. You know what I'm saying? But like I think some of it had like some it was might have been some genuine kind of hatred behind some of that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I believe
Because
it was. I believe it
because
was.
McMahon's pops, like McMahon's father, Vince McMahon's father, like crushed a lot of independent wrestling productions to build WWF to what it was.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And WCW was like one of the last productions that he couldn't crush. So his father couldn't crush everything. And Vince, what his father didn't do, Vince did. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So it
Yeah.
was kind of WCW was like a rebellion. It was like a rebellion outfit to WWF, man. And it was just you had to be there, man, to like
Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
what it
You
meant.
had to be there. You're
And
definitely right.
Sting,
You're right.
you never expected Sting to go to WWF. Like you never you Sting was WCW. Sting was
Yeah.
WCW. He was WC. He was the last. He was like the guy. Like like we got Sting. Y'all got all that shit y'all got over there in WWF, whatever. But we
But we
got
got
Sting
Sting.
though. We got
Yeah, we
Sting
got
though.
Sting. Yeah.
Y'all
I
ain't
agree
got
with you,
nothing
bro.
like that. Y'all ain't
I
got that.
agree with you. I agree with you. Definitely, definitely, definitely. To continue on, man, and kind of get ready to close the show a little bit. My losing um is a very sad note at this point in time. I don't know if you guys have heard, but we have suffered a tragic loss in the sports world, ESPN and whatnot. But Mr. Chris Mortensen, who has definitely been a part of um, so many um, NFL broadcasts, especially coming out in drafts, giving you some information within the season on different teams and players. Tragically, he passed away the other day at the age of 72. Um, and I looked up a stat. It said since 1985, Chris Mortensen has covered every Super Bowl, with the exception of Super Bowl 50, when he had no choice but to take a leave of absence after he was diagnosed with stage 4 throat cancer. Now, I don't know specifically if that is what took him out, but I do want to give my condolences to him, to his family, ESPN family. Because, I mean, if you're a football fan, if you pay attention to, the draft, if you pay attention to any of that stuff, man, you saw more. You always saw more on the TV. You saw more giving his analysis on quarterbacks, on players, wide receivers. Always having the
Yeah,
in-depth, the
off
in-depth stuff. All the time.
off season news,
Yeah.
breaking news, off season news. He was like that insider type of guy.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Liked by everybody. Liked by everybody. And um, it's sad. Definitely sad, man. They lose another guy, man. Along with your Stuart Scotts and all the other guys, man, all the other greats that have lost, from ESPN. But this is the most recent. So I do, in my own personal way, on this show, I want to reflect on him and just say for him and his family that it's full support all around, man, all around. To him, man, may he rest in heaven. He's at much better peace, and I know he's up there, giving his details and analysis on this upcoming draft and whatnot. So much love to you, Mort. We love you. Shout out to you and your family. You will truly be missed, and it definitely won't feel the same with this draft coming up because we won't get to see more give his analysis and stuff like that. But we understand that how it goes. With that being said, man, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for being part of the Money Man Cave, for joining me here on the BGSC Network. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow, do all of that good stuff. Hit the bell for the notification. So anytime my show comes on, you guys can click in. You know how we do it. I appreciate you guys. I always like to end the show and let you know that if you guys are suffering from mental health, anything that is going on, please seek help because mental health is real. Talk with somebody that has gone through it. I'm telling you right now, you can go get help and somebody can help you. It's always good to talk with friends, people that'll tell you the things that you want to hear, but sometimes it's best to talk to a stranger or somebody that can help you and tell you what you need to hear to help you further better your life. Because mental health is a real subject, it is a real issue, and we all need help at some point in time. Y'all, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much. Again, here in the Money Man Cave for BGSC Network, for myself, for Big Game, for the Buff Nerd, Jay Stoggs, man, for Philly, my boys in Philly, the Two Birds, One Show. Everybody that's a part of this, every follower, everybody that's ever liked one of our videos, that is following the whole network and all of that, man, we love it, and we appreciate you so much. Man, thank you so much for everything that you guys do and continue to do. For myself, my man Brian, y'all already know what it is, man. I will see you guys next week, most definitely, for the Monday Man Cave, all right? Y'all take it easy, baby. Peace.
Cruising in a Rari, the hair and nails are toes done, always keep it stylish. Never gonna give me.
Gonna make a lot of women mad at this one, but it's alright.
Gonna get a shot at romance. It's kinda too cold.
Yeah.
I'm ice cold.